Welcome in to another weekly spirit boost. I'm Tammy Mastroberti, best-selling author of the books The Universe is Talking to and the Higher Health Method, and I teach people how to tap into and communicate with what I call the higher helpline of the universe. And that includes your angels, your guides, a number of higher helpers, your loved ones on the other side. There are such vast resources in the universe that we energetically can tap into, and that is what I teach people. So excited to be back here with you guys today. I know I wasn't here last Thursday. There was a family wedding that I needed to get ready for. So I missed you guys. So I'm glad to be back. Now, today I was, I never really plan these until like the day before, 2 days before, like, what do I want to talk about? And it's usually whatever is going on with me. Sometimes things that are triggered by membership readings that I do, or client readings that I do, or, something going on in my life, or just something that inspirationally comes to me that I feel like I need to talk about. And so I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about today, and it hit me, thank you, universe, that I want to share with you some tips that I got for me, but really that apply universally, from my guides around success, around manifestation, no matter what area of your life you're looking to change. And I have been doing this year, I've been purposely doing more like channeling, automatic writing, and I've been doing a lot of kind of teaching myself voice channeling. So instead of writing it out, I'm just speaking it. And I've been doing that more often. And one of the questions that I recently asked, and sometimes I'll talk to individual guides, and sometimes it's like the group talks sort of collectively, right? So I recently asked specifically, what do I need to know around creating the growth and success that I'm looking for in terms of my business, my career, etc. What do I need to know or do or be aware of that maybe I'm not paying attention to or doing? And so that's really the question that I always ask, what do I need to know right now? Sometimes I'll ask about a specific thing. Sometimes I don't have a specific thing to ask about. Thank you for liking the live. I don't have a specific thing to ask about. So I'll just ask, like, what do you want me to know right now that's going to improve my life? Right. And just kind of see what advice comes through. So I asked specifically about this, and a whole bunch of stuff came through, like rapidly, quickly. And they were like, okay, you want to know? Here it is. Point number 1, da 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 da. Point number 2, da 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 da. Point number 3, da 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 da. Like, here are the things that you need to do. Doesn't shock me, by the way, that they come through in a list because I'm a Virgo. So I want to share like 4 of them with you that I think are universal, no matter what it is that you're trying to create, change, manifest. It can be business wise. It can be that maybe you want to start your own business. It could be, around something around a relationship. It can be something around your health. It applies to all of it. Okay. So I'm going to go through what those 4 things are, and I'm going to share with you. These are what I believe are sort of the most universal. So number 1, and this is going to not come as a shock to anybody that follows me, but number 1, they said you need to manage your own energy. Has to be number 1 priority. And not just manage and shift your energy like I teach you guys, right? So I always say, like, when you're not in alignment, when you're not feeling, if you're feeling anything less than good, you need to shift your energy, right? So that is a given. But not what they were telling me is it's not just about shifting your energy into a better place or shifting your energy to feel good. It's also about generating excitement and passion around whatever it is that you're doing or whatever it is you're trying to create. So for me, sometimes and I think anybody that even if you don't run your own business, even if you're just working for someone else and you're doing work, right? Like sometimes when we're doing the work, it's like, okay, you're so caught up in the to-do list and the things that I have to get done and the things that I'm doing, right? And like you lose some of the joy and excitement around what you're doing because you're not focusing on like this is something that I'm really excited about. Like right now, those of you who have joined me for the 5-day spiritual reboot, I am so excited about it. Like every time I go live with you, and I'll be live at 6 p.m. tonight. Every time I go live with you, I'm just excited to walk you through the processes, and I know how much it's going to work, and I know the shifts that you're making, and it excites me. The content excites me. Hanging out with you excites me. So what my guides were saying to me is get excited and don't just look at here's the things I have to do to put this together. Be excited about it. Put that energy, that joy, that passion into what you're doing, because what they said to me is that is magnetic. That is magnetic. You put yourself into a state of excitement and joy. This goes to anything you're trying to create, right? So if you are trying to manifest a new relationship, purposely put yourself into the excitement and joy of what you know is coming, right? If you're whatever you're trying to create, put yourself into that excitement and joy of, oh my gosh, how I am going to feel when I create this or something better. For me, for business, it's about putting that excitement and joy into all of the work I'm doing, into the creation and the content, just getting excited about it, right? Because that excitement is magnetic and people will want to be excited with me and join me for the things that I'm doing. So, whether that's my books or whatever, I am excited about everything I do, but I think sometimes I will get caught up in the to-do list. And I'm not focused on this is so freaking awesome and I can't wait to do this with people. But again, that translates into any area of your life because anything that you're trying to create, you want to focus on the excitement and the joy that this creation is going to bring you. That not only shifts your energy, but it zooms you up to the top of the highest energy you can get to and the highest vibration that you can get to. And I just love that they pointed that out because it's universal for anything that we're trying to create, anything that we're trying to do. So that was the first point. And again, I loved it because they said managing your energy. And at first I was like, duh, like I'm constantly shifting my energy, but it was like, no, not just shifting out of the chaos. Manage your energy into that excitement space, because that is magnetic. That is going to draw the right doctor to you. That is going to draw the right audience to me. That is going to draw the right partner into you, right? So that was tip number 1, and I love it. Tip number 2 from them was, and this is funny because I've known this for a while, but it was like, okay, and now I'm doing it. I'm doing it because they told me to do it. Okay. I listened to my guides. I listened to you. Clear the clutter. You guys, it was a crazy summer. Clutter has accumulated into different areas of my home and my office. And I've been I hate it. I can't stand it. I am a Virgo. I don't like clutter. And by the way, I'm not the only one causing the clutter. I live with 2 other people. Okay. So, but I'm not just talking about visible clutter. I'm talking about closets, the boiler room in my house where I have all of my office supplies. My husband is throwing stuff in there. It is a disaster. Okay. So, and I'm not blaming everybody else because I've thrown stuff in there too, but no good, right? So here's a quote of what they said to me. And please continue to like the live if you're watching me and you're liking what I'm saying. They said to me, there is way too much clutter around you. And that is clutter on your brain. That's what came through. That is clutter on your brain. And it is. It's like your whole body just feels different. I always say when you walk into a room and you're like, let's say your kitchen and all the counters are clear and everything is clean and everything looks pristine, you just feel amazing, right? Versus when you walk in and like maybe you just cooked and there's stuff everywhere and you're like, oh my God, it feels horrible, right? So I've already started. What they said to me is every day, clear one thing. Every day, clear one thing. Clear one piece of clutter until there is no more, until there is only peace and joy and flow. That's exactly what they said. And I was like, okay. So every day, my office looks amazing, by the way, because I had like stacks of things on tables and all this other stuff. So every day, and I even mean to the point like next to me, I have a stack of papers that need to be shredded. I'm going to shred them. I'm going to do it. I cleaned out my entire closet in my bedroom because it was a disaster area. Like, I don't know why. Why is the closet the easiest thing to just throw things in and be like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm just going to throw it in the closet and I'll deal with it later. Does anybody else do that? Like, ridiculous. So I have been tasked with clearing out the clutter. And the thing is with the clutter, not only did they said it was clutter. Clutter is like clutter on the brain, right? I just want to see. Oh, somebody on Instagram says, I hate clutter, but it doesn't bother my husband. So here I am doing the work to declutter. This is what I'm saying. I'm not the only one that lives here. So, not only did they say it's clutter on the brain, but years ago when I had my magazine, I interviewed somebody who was an organizational expert, like somebody that comes in and is like, I will organize your home for you. And that's what they do for a living. She said to me, clutter is like little pockets of negative energy. And I always remembered that. Little piles of clutter are just little pockets of negative energy. Think about energy and the flow of energy, which is why my guide said clear until there is no more, until there is only peace, joy, and flow. When you think about it, no clutter and just things neatly organized, the energy is flowing beautifully in that room. When you have pockets of stuff, it's stagnating energy. It's blocking flow, right? So these are things that we have to pay attention to. And I think we forget it sometimes. And it has been bothering me. I literally said it to my husband before my guide said it. Like, especially the basement. My husband has like a 3D printing workshop in the basement. And it's just, I work out in the basement, but there's just been stuff that has accumulated. My stepson has stuff. There's just stuff. I can't take it. So anyway, clear your clutter. Okay, clear your clutter. Just do one thing a day. And right now, my house is even worse because we're decorating for Halloween, because we do a huge Halloween party every year. It literally turns into like spirit Halloween. Like, our house is ridiculous. And so right now, there's boxes of stuff and life-size figures that my husband gets that are all put together and just strewn about, that I have to walk like I'm walking through a crowd of people. That's where I'm walking in my house. So what I am doing is focusing on working on putting out Halloween stuff and getting those boxes, the empty boxes, back up in the attic. But in addition to that, I am clearing clutter from one area until I have no more. And that includes drawers. Like, there's drawers in my room of like clothes or socks, or like the drawer next to my nightstand. It is just, you just wind up throwing stuff in there. I want to clear it all. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I'm going to do it, right? In addition, and I'm talking about in addition to the clutter that one might see. And thank God, like the main area of my house is not cluttered. Knock on wood. But again, there's these pockets. There's my boiler room. My office got a little out of control. There's areas in the basement, my closet, which I did. That is the weirdest thing. What was that? Something just fell somewhere. I literally don't know what that was. Something just fell somewhere. Somebody's listening to me. I don't know what that was. I have to investigate that after this. That was the weirdest thing. I don't know where it fell from or what it is. Anyway, they're listening. So, clearing the clutter. And I'm working on it and I'm doing it. And thank God I don't have that many areas to do. But it needs to go. It needs to go, especially in my office space. So now that I'm sort of clearing all of the clutter that I have in my office, I'm going to sage it all, go through, sage all my crystals. I do that every so often anyway, but I feel like it needs to be done. It's the fall. We need a reset. So clearing the clutter. Number 3 thing that they said to me was getting back to my studies. What that means is, are you researching and reading the books, taking the classes, doing the things that will help you achieve what you want to achieve, right? So opening your intuition, healing yourself, or have you done the research? Have you read different books on holistic things? Finding a soulmate, many, many books on that. Ariel Ford has an amazing one called The Soulmate Secret. And for me, I was always an avid reader of like business books, marketing things, even just growing my own spirituality and learning new things, right? And a while ago, I realized that I was doing too much of it. And so I started implementing every night where I was reading mystery books. I love mystery books. I've always loved mystery books ever since I was young. And so I do that at night because it brings me joy. So I literally started reading them again because I needed to bring myself more joy. But I've fallen off of my practice during the day in the morning time as part of my morning routine to read like a chapter of some type of a book, whether it's something around business or whether it's something around spirituality. And they said to me, get back to that. Get back to that. Don't overdo it. Keep your mystery. They literally said, keep the mystery books because that's good for you, but get back to that. So what I would say is, what areas of your life are you trying to improve, and how can you learn more about how to do that? How can you learn more about how to do that? Whether it's taking a class, whether it's reading a chapter a day in a book that you're trying to discover. Again, if you're trying to heal, there's so many books on healing. There's so many books on finding relationships, improving communication, opening your spirituality, opening your intuition. Whatever you're trying to do, are you taking the time to put in the work to just open your mind and bring in new ideas, right? And especially, and if you don't know where to start, you know where you start? You start by asking the universe for help. You start by asking the universe to direct you. Send me the signs, synchronicities, resources that can help me. All of a sudden, you'll hear the name of a book a couple of times. You will hear a particular author or a particular class or some type of meditation or some type of exercise or whatever you're trying to do. When you ask for the help, they will start bringing it in. You will start hearing something repeat. Then you know what you have to look into, right? But we have to be active in that. So that was a third piece that I got from them, that I'm going to start doing again. I'm going to start, because there's so many books that I have that I want to read that I haven't been taking the time to do that kind of chapter a day thing, and I'm going back to it. So that was number 3. And number 4, and this, how I end, if you've been watching me, how I end my weekly spirit boost is I tell you to do something over the weekend that brings you joy. The 4th tip that they gave me was connect more with joy. But they said every day, consciously and purposely plan one thing that you totally enjoy, that you are going to take the time to do, whether it's reading, whether it's taking a break during the day from work and going to watch a show, or which I never do. Like when I'm working, right? But it's kind of like, how can you interrupt your day to infuse it with more joy? Which is why I have that whole exercise, infusing things with joy. How can you plan out joy every day, right? And I don't mean just like finding joy in the things, but like purposely planning something for me to do that's not already on my schedule, right? Because I teach you how to find joy in all of the things you're doing, which is amazing. I'm talking about planning something, whether that's at night, you're going to read a book, you're going to watch a show, you're going to take a bath, you're going to go get your Starbucks, whatever it is that you're doing, planning something purposely every day, saying, what am I going to do that's just pure joy today? That's just pure joy today. That's the fourth tip. So of course, I always tell you, make sure you at least do it over the weekend. But what this is saying is every day, in addition to how we find joy in everything that we're doing, what is something that you can plan out that is simply for joy? Connect more with joy. And for me, I need to do it more during the day, I think, to interrupt and break up the working cycle, right? Like when you're working like when I used to work 9 to 5, although I have to say a lot of times, even when I used to work 9 to 5, like I didn't always take a lunch. Like I would go get lunch, but a lot of times I would eat at my desk. But the days that I would take an actual lunch, like take a break, go shop. When I used to work in New York City, I would go shopping on my lunch hour or, do different things like that. Like that infuses you with joy in the middle of the day. That's why they always say, like, don't eat, your lunch at your desk, which by the way, I still do, even though I work from home, right? Like, how can you break up the day and bring more joy into it? That is sort of what they were saying. So these tips really are universal. And they're really, you know what they are all around? Energy. Energy. Finding, connecting with that passionate energy, clearing that clutter is around energy, getting back to your studies is around focusing and intention, right? Which is energy, connecting with joy, energy. It all goes back to your energy. And if you can follow some of these things, maybe clutter is not a problem for you. God bless. Thank God for me. It is pocketed areas that I know need to be cleared, especially the basement, because my office is in the basement. Yes, I can shut the door, but I have to walk through it to go upstairs. Like I said, thank God the main, floor of my house, it's pretty good. But like I said, my closet was a mess. I already tackled that. I've tackled my office. I have a couple more little areas to clear out. And there's a few more areas, and I know that I'm going to physically, energetically feel better when they are cleared out. It's going to take a little while because, again, I'm decorating for Halloween and there's stuff all over the place. And even when we have it all out, it's still going to be insane. But once it's out and in its place, I won't have to feel like I'm walking through a crowd of like mummies and vampires and whatever the hell else is out in this house. It's insane. And if you've ever been to my house for a Halloween party, if you're in my membership, because I usually post to our Facebook group some of the stories. I'll do that again this year. I'll post some of the decorations and everything for you guys. But it's a little crazy. But I can at least control the clutter in some of these other areas. Getting back to reading a chapter a day on something, it's putting your focus and your intention into something. You're learning new things. It's expanding you. And then just connecting to more joy. And for me, I know that was throughout the day because I can't, I have infused joy into a lot of the things that I do on a daily basis, whether I'm listening to something while I'm working or I'm just enjoying something that I'm doing, like, or if I'm doing something I don't enjoy, I'll be listening to a podcast. Like I teach you how to do all that. But I think what they were talking about for me is just plan one thing that you're doing just for you, not just infusing joy into everything that you're doing, but plan one thing that's going to be for you. And that might be actually taking an hour out of my office for lunch. Maybe I'll go for a walk. Maybe I'll go upstairs and watch something. I don't know. You can think about how that would apply to you. But again, some of these things were very tailored to me, but they have universal themes to them. And so that's why I am sharing them with you. So let me just see. if there's any other comments. Yes, Suzanne, decluttering your home declutters your brain. That's exactly what they said. That's like, I never thought about that. But think about, like, your mind is cluttered, and it's the outside of you is often a reflection of what's going on inside. So if we can clear all the clutter around us, our mind is less cluttered. It's so true. When I moved into my house, I booked a charity van to collect a lot of my stuff, and it was nearly a quarter of a van load. And oh my God, what a relief. I could actually breathe. That's the thing. Like, that's why I always tell people, like, close your eyes and picture your kitchen with stuff all over. Like, you just cooked or you baked or mail is piled up and there's stuff everywhere. It's like choking to walk in. But think of it when you've cleaned everything and all the counters are clean and everything is clear and you're like, oh my God, it's beautiful. Like, I can breathe in the fresh air. That's exactly what it's like, right? And so we have to make more of an effort to do it on a daily basis and to try not to get it to accumulate. Again, it's hard when you live with other people who don't care as much about the clutter. Somebody said that on Instagram. I feel you. But we have to do it as much as we possibly can, because pockets of negative energy, we don't want it. We don't need it. We've got to get rid of it, right? Oh, Joey says, I love it. An old friend and I used to refer to those cleanings as a cleaning for our souls. Ha ha. Yes. Yes. I've been decluttering. I woke up today and cleaned. I feel better. You just feel better, right? It's so true. I mean, I know from, especially those of us who are energetically sensitive. You know, if you're watching this, you probably are. You probably are empathic, whether you realize it or not, whether you are identifying as it or not, but I'm sure many of you do. If you are an energetically sensitive person and you have pockets of clutter that are just pockets of negative energy, that is affecting you. That is affecting you. It's affecting what you're creating. It's affecting everything. Clear it out. Greg, I am loving what you're presenting to us. Yay. Listen, thank my guides, because they presented it to me. And then when I started thinking about what do I want to talk about today, I'm like, oh, well, I've been working on my list of stuff that they're telling me to do. I'm going to share it because, listen, nothing is just for me, right? Wendy, can you repeat number one? Number one was all about managing your energy, but not just shifting your energy out of chaos. What they specifically talked to me about was getting excited about what I'm doing and infusing that passion and excitement into what I'm doing on a daily basis. So a lot of the times, if we're applying it to work, you think, okay, I have this to-do list and let me get through, and I'm a very Virgo type A, like, let me get through the list of things that I have to do. But stopping and getting excited about what I'm doing and getting excited about what I'm planning or the content that I'm doing or whatever, right? And so how that translates to any area of your life is, how can I get, I sound like a New Yorker. You know, my husband and I literally just had this because he's like, you have an accent. I said, no, I don't. Northern New Jersey is where I'm from. And I used to work in New York. So that's probably what it is. And I think it's a little bit of a New York, New Jersey, Italian accent. But he was just saying it the other day. He's like, oh, you have such an accent. I go, well, you're from New Jersey. He's like, not from the part you were from. I was like, okay, whatever. So how that translates into manifesting anything is connecting with the excitement and the passion about what you are creating, about what is coming. Instead of focusing on the fact that it's not here, shifting your energy into the passion and excitement about what you know you are creating and that is coming to you, right? So that is how that translates. That is how that managing your energy translates. Yes, we need to manage the energy in terms of taming the chaos and shifting our energy into a higher vibration, into alignment with the universe again. But we also need to be passionate and excited about what we are creating. Oh, you're from New York and you're Italian, so you get it. Maybe you have the same accent, which again, I didn't know I had. Every now and then somebody will say to me, oh my God, your accent is so funny. And I'm like, I didn't know I had one. But apparently I do. So, and it's okay. Well, actually it was funny because years ago when I had my first book, The Universe is Talking to You, and they made me audition to read my own audiobook. Literally made me audition to read my own audio. I was like, nobody else is reading my audiobook. I am reading my audiobook. But my agent at the time was like, well, you have a little bit of an accent. And I was like, what? And they were like, no, you have. So thank God I read it and they let me read both of my audiobooks. But apparently it was a whole big deal that, they had to hear me read it because I had an accent. I said, well, people are used to hearing me teach. So they don't want anybody else to read the book that they're getting from me. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, thank God they let me do it. And then the second book, they let me do it even with my accent. So anyway, that is what number 1 is, Wendy. So hopefully that helps you. Yay, I'm glad you love them. Listen, I thought they were so good. Listen, there's nothing groundbreaking about them, but at the same way they are groundbreaking, because it's like these are things we forget. And if we can just put these little tweaks into our day, every day you're going to clear one drawer of clutter, one tabletop, whatever it is. And remembering the excitement and the passion about what you're creating, putting that into what you're doing, actually doing research and learning and growing through reading, through classes, whatever it is you're trying to create, asking the universe to send you those resources, right? My guides have given me the names of books that I'd never heard of before in my life. And then I'll Google it and there's a book with that name. So ask for what you're looking for, and then connecting with more joy, not just daily, but doing something for yourself. Remember, I have that exercise of how to, I think it's actually in The Universe is Talking to You, the exercise that brings you through infusing joy into everything you do. But outside of that, planning one thing that actually brings you joy, just for the sake of joy, not just infusing joy into what you're doing, but something separate, right? Sharon said, this is exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. Listen, anytime I get something good from my guides that is, again, not just for me, I come on here and I tell you, right? I told you a while back about the they gave me a great 3-sentence thing that can shift your energy into a better place quickly and bring you back into alignment when you feel like something is missing. Oh, you live in New York as well. Oh, you're from New York. You live in Oklahoma. People always say I have a distinctive accent. Yeah, and it's funny because my husband is also from New Jersey, but he is from a different part. So I grew up closer to New York City. He grew up further away from New York City. So I guess the closer you get to New York City, if you're from that northern Jersey area, you have that New York, New Jersey accent. And I think the Italian, I don't know, but yeah, you're very, very welcome. So anyway, I have an accent and I love it and I embrace it. Even my stepson sometimes makes fun of things that I say. And I'm like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I say coffee. I say talk. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay. So I hope that you will, oh gosh, you live in Alabama now, but you were from New York. Oh, the sentences. Okay. So if you missed this in the past, I had asked my guides, what can people do? Because this wasn't even just about me. I asked my guides, what can people do to, when they're feeling stuck or they're feeling like things aren't happening enough and they're just frustrated with the fact that they don't have what they want yet? What can they do to shift themselves out of that? What is something that they can easily say? And so here's what they told me. They said, you close your eyes or whatever and you say, things are changing for the better as I speak. Things are shifting to a better place now. I know this and believe it as so. I'll say it again. Things are changing for the better as I speak. Things are shifting to a better place now. I know this and believe this as so. Then your job is to look for the clues that things are shifting. right? So you've shifted your energy. Things are changing for the better as I speak. Things are shifting to a better place now. I know this and believe this as so. And then you look for the proof and you get excited for the fact that, oh my gosh, things are changing right now. I know I don't see it yet, but they're changing for the better as I speak. It was one of the best gems that I've gotten from them this year. Honestly. And again, I didn't ask it just for me. I asked it like in general, like what can people do for this? And that was my answer. And I love it and I use it all the time. All the time. Anytime I think about, creating something that's not here yet, I say it. I say it. So take that with you. I hope that's helpful. Yes, it was so good. It was so good. And that was another thing I had to come on here and share with you. So sometimes my guides are giving me personal stuff, but sometimes when I ask a question, like I asked, how can I really focus on manifesting the things that I want to manifest faster? And they were like, oh, and it was so funny. My guides were like, oh my gosh, we're so glad you asked this. So here's what you have to do. And blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I have to share this, right? With Italian, it isn't the accent, it's the hands. Did you notice the hands? I've always talked with my hand. You're right. So the hands plus the accent, Peggy, forget it. Forget it. Yes. No, I've always talked with my hands. And maybe that is an Italian thing. I have no idea. It's just how I grew up. It's funny because one time I was editing a video of myself because I try to post videos on YouTube. Like I try to do it weekly, but and I was editing a video of myself. So I was fast forwarding through something and all you see is like fast forward movement. I'm like, I look like a nut job, but that's just how I talk. So that plus the accent, forget it. All right. So I've been on here forever. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you will take, even if you just take one of these things that my guides gave, and start bringing that into your daily routine of manifestation, of shifting your energy, of feeling good, right? And take those 3 sentences as well and take that into your daily life in terms of, oh, you got the book Higher Help. Yay. Oh, I'm so glad. Yes, 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 yes. I'm so glad. You will love that. That is filled with things to shift your energy, to call in the right higher helpers, rituals, all in different areas of your life. Like it was such a labor of love, that book, because it's like it's like a whole resource guide you can go back to again and again. And it was like, I wish I had this years ago. So I kind of created what I wish that I had. It's an Italian thing. Try sitting on your hands and see if you can tell a story. I can't. There's no way. That would be so uncomfortable. No, I just tried it. It's so uncomfortable. No. No. We must talk with our hands. So anyway, oh, you've been seeing 777 and 999. That's amazing. Yes. That's another thing, how you're I always say you're in flow or you're in that higher vibration when you're seeing the signs and synchronicities, when you're seeing the numbers, when it becomes a normal part of your everyday life, right? It's like, oh, I've shifted into a different space. So anyway, thank my guides. They spoke as a group with this one. And as I'm getting these nuggets, I will be coming on here and continuing to bring them to you, because some of them are just so good and I can't even take credit for them because I'm learning them and giving them to you. So I want you to have an amazing weekend. I want you to take some of these tips into your life for the weekend and say, how can I incorporate this into my day? And of course, you're going to do something this weekend, but according to my guides, you should be doing it every day. That will bring you joy, just for the sake of bringing you joy. This is separate from infusing joy into everything you do, which I teach. This is, I am just going to plan one thing that I'm just going to totally enjoy, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to set time aside for it. I don't care if it's 15 minutes, if it's a half an hour, if it's 3 hours, whatever you have. I want you to do it, and do it this weekend, because you deserve it, because you want to shift your energy, right? Wendy said, I needed all of this today. Yes, just started doing all these things, but now I know how to increase the effect. I was scheduled for something else, but I was called to watch you instead. Yay! That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, no, these like I said, a lot of these things are not earth-shattering, but they're like, duh. This makes so much sense. This is so easy to do. Why am I not doing it? I just have to tweak these little things. Sometimes we think manifestation is so impossible or so hard or we're not doing it. And why is it not happening fast enough? And sometimes it's just these little tweaks in our own energy that can start that flow up again, right? Sometimes it's divine timing. A lot of times there's divine timing in there, but we can feel good while we're watching for what's coming, right? And so that's sort of what this is, and bringing in the help. So if you need help with any of these steps, oh my gosh, this book will give you all the higher helpers, okay, that you're going to call in, that's going to help you to do the things that you need to do, to manage your energy, to bring you the resources that you need that will help you move forward, right? That's the goal. So have an amazing weekend. Do something that brings you joy. Just one thing. Try to do it every day, but at least one thing for the weekend. And I will see you back here next Thursday at noon Eastern for another weekly spirit boost. I think I have to play around with it because I haven't done it yet. I'm on TikTok, but I've never gone live there before. So I'm thinking about maybe adding my iPad to this and adding TikTok to the group. I'm still have like a small group there, but we'll see. So maybe I'll start going live there too, but stay tuned. If you're on my list, I always give you the links to everything so that you can quickly click. And then of course, on TikTok, you will never be able to watch the replay, but it still might be fun to go live there. But everywhere else, you'll be able to watch the replay right at the same links that I send you guys. So have an amazing weekend. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you, Greg. And I'll see you guys back here next week. Bye, everyone.